Tiff, I'm gonna stand right. If you want to stand over here, I'm just gonna record some of this. Maybe send it to you guys. That'd be cool. All right.
How are you? I'm Tiffany.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, come over here, Eric. And then it's Mike, right?
Yes.
Mike, yep, Mike's joining us today, so that's cool. All right, so like I told you guys, today I'm going to teach you how to get better at golf. What have I been doing, right, for the past couple years here? Teaching you how to get better, right? So what I mean by that is, right, you learn these skills, we go through certain things on how these skills work, okay? But how do I make them stick? What is the thing that helps me get better at that skill and then transfer it to the actual golf course, okay? So when we look at getting better, you know, what is getting better? Getting better for all of you here looks different for everybody, right? Does getting better mean hit the ball further? Does it mean compress the ball more? Does it mean, you know, get a tighter dispersion? A lot of different things make individuals better, okay? So when it comes to that, it's drills, okay? You got to understand what drills and practice routines can you kind of mesh together in your own individual way to make you better, okay? Who here has a good range sessions and then goes out to the golf course and it's like you never hit a golf ball before? Everybody's raising their hand. Yeah, I put myself in that one too. So that's where, you know, there's a lot of things that we can do. Okay, we get good at a skill on the driving range, but how do I then transfer it over to the golf course? How do I do that? It's called transfer learning, right? So there's different things. So what we do on the driving range mostly is called block practice. Okay, so you have a block practice, which is, you know, a 7-iron over and over and over again to the same target, same stuff, right? That's what block practice is. How many people participate in block practice whenever they come to the range? Same here, okay? You got to understand what the difference is here, okay? Because there's block and then there's random. Okay, random practice is probably something that most golfers don't participate in when they're doing their own range session. Okay? So block practice is not a bad thing, but I think it needs to be split. Okay, so if I'm coming out here and I hit my warm-up, so I go through a warm-up, then I'll do some block practice. What's the skill I'm working on the block practice? Maybe it's a feel, maybe it's a drill that I've given you, you know, maybe it's a shot, a specific shot to a specific yardage. Okay. That's the block practice portion of it. What you should do then is probably separate yourself out. So when I think of random practice, there's a couple things I think about. Spacing, write these down. This is good stuff to remember. Spacing in between shots. So the time you take in between shots. Block practice is typically a rake and hit type of practice. Rake, hit, rake, hit, rake, hit. You can probably hit 20 golf balls in a minute or 2 minutes, right? I mean, I don't know 20 golf balls, but you can hit a lot of golf balls pretty quickly doing that. Go through a large bucket, and then guess what? Your practice session hasn't gotten you better, it's just raised your heart rate, okay? So it's exercise at that point. So what we need to do is, again, block practice, it's a good thing. Go through it on a time-specific, you know, have a goal that is time-specific. Okay, I'm gonna hit 10 balls and I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna feel this. I'm just gonna hit this yardage, whatever that is, okay? So spacing is one. So we space out the time in between shots. Variability is another. So variable, a variety of targets and a variety of clubs. So, okay, what's that look like? Take my, say, a sand wedge, I'll hit it to that first target. I'll go back, and I'll even act like I'm on the golf course. Put my club back in the bag, grab my 7-iron out. Now I'll hit to the white flag. And I'll go through my pre-shot routine with each of these, okay? Things to focus on when you're in random practice would be pre-shot routine, the target, because how many times are you out here with block practice and you're just aimlessly hitting the ball out? Yep, everybody raise their hand on that one. Same here, okay? So when we work on these, so pre-shot routine and breathing. Anybody ever focus on breathing when they're doing it? Yeah, when they're going through a shot. Everybody's looking at me with these smirks right now, okay? So I attended a really great seminar last week. The PGA show was in town. I attended the seminar, and it was all about breathing, right? It was about how professionals practice their breathing and what they do before shots and how they calm themselves down and how it affects your nervous system and all these things. It was an amazing, really eye-opening thing for me that I will definitely start implementing because I need that kind of stuff when I'm playing. But again, you can have all the tools, all the skills, right, for your skill level right now, and then let the moment get away from you if you're not breathing correctly. Okay, so we can talk more about that. I could spend a whole class on that. But again, pre-shot routine, breathing, spacing, variability, all these things are what random practice becomes about. All right. Questions on that, guys?
So holding your breath is a bad thing.
Holding your breath is not the best thing for your nervous system and getting your body to activate in the swing. Yeah, in the moment there. Yeah, I don't think so. Good question, though. All right, so what I want to go through now are some of my favorite drills, okay? And I would say random practice is a drill in itself, okay? And it's put a time limit on it. I love seeing this, right? You give people, tell them the random practice, or do this to yourself, test this out, because I guarantee it'll be exactly the same. You do a random practice where you strictly play a golf course, and you play our golf course, but on the driving range, driver, 7-iron, 3, whatever, right? Whatever your thing is, play hole number 1, play hole number 2, 3, 4 on the driving range, okay? And what you'll find is if you go through that pre-shot routine and do it just like you would out there, you'll probably run into same issues that you run into out there. You topped one, you chunked one, you set one way right, whatever it may be. Okay, that's a learning moment. That's a learning moment in a learning environment. Okay, so we can use that stuff to actually transfer our learning, because now, how many times have we all heard you should practice the way you play? Okay, that's every other sport. Practice the way you play. In golf, it's tough because look what they give us: a perfect surface, a flat surface. We're actually hitting into water, right? So it's all these backwards things. This is the only game that I can think of where we don't practice on the same field that we play on, for the most part, which is why I like to do playing lessons with a lot of my individual lessons, getting out on the golf course and actually, let's see what your golf game's really about. Because we can look at your swing all day, but it ain't gonna do nothing unless we get out on our golf course and see how it performs, right? So performing is different than, just actually practicing a certain skill. You guys following me? Good with that? Okay.
Absolutely. All
right, so you need feedback. I'm big on feedback in my lessons. I really enjoy using my launch monitor. You guys have seen that before. I think most of you have seen it. So that's a great source of feedback. I am a great source of feedback to the student in front of me, right? You hit a shot, I give you feedback, your brain processes that feedback, boom, we hit another shot, okay? So if I'm not there, how do we get feedback? Well, we need good drills that provide us that feedback, okay? So here's a couple. I'm gonna do a takeaway one, a weight shift one, and a finish drill. So 3 drills. This takeaway one's really simple. And it's a kind of a newer one, but I really like it. Seen it a couple times from some professionals and some other tour pros and some other coaches. Really like using this drill, but it's a takeaway. If you guys want to swing around this way, so you can see, I'll move my basket out of the way. Okay. So this is a takeaway drill to kind of, what I would say, keep things connected in the backswing, okay? If you are somebody, I'll show you guys this way, but if you're somebody who takes the clubs in the hands in really quick, all right, this is a good drill for you. If you're somebody who lifts your arms really quick, this is a good drill for you, okay? So, ball down. I'm actually gonna put my club in front of the golf ball. And all I'm gonna work on, this is good because we have these strips now, so I can actually start a little up here, and what I'll use that strip for feedback is, when I take this club away, all I want to do is push that ball straight back, okay? So you can see the difference is, if I yank that club in and my hand's in, the ball now travels inside and off of that green track, okay? Very simple drill. You could do this with a ball in the way, really, and hit some shots here, like this. So I would just have 2 balls, and I would work on taking this one away. Okay. The feedback there is, where did my ball roll when I took it away? It kind of went straight back. If it went inside, that would be something for me to take into account. Okay, what's my goal? Get it to roll straight back. Okay, that's a great drill for the takeaway. You can see how everything would have to move together when I take it away. All right, if I go this way, you guys will see something that I love. I love to teach this to a lot of players because it's usually backwards. So I like to say or teach hands in, club out. So as the hands move in, the club actually stays out, as opposed to club in, hands out, which is what I see a lot of. All right, that's a big difference, and can really cause some issues later in the swing.
Say
Okay,
that again. Yes.
hands in, club out. Hands in, club out. And the beautiful thing about that is it actually works on both sides. Okay, so backswing, hands in, club out. Now as I come through, guess what? Hands go in, club stays out. What's most of us look like? Club in, hands out, right? So love the takeaway drill. That's a good one to kind of keep everything glued together, I would say. Okay, so I like that one. Weight shift drill, one of my favorites. You guys may have seen this one before. You could do this with hitting a ball or without. Feet close together, okay? Make a backswing, pause, step, finish, okay? The step is the weight transfer, or the weight shift, or the pressure shift, or however you want to term it, okay? Most people would fall backwards, okay? We're actually working on stepping. So one of my favorite things to tell people, I guess, especially baseball players, okay, is that the golf swing is more like a baseball throw rather than a baseball swing, right? In baseball swing, we like to hang back, right? Kind of keep that weight back here. It's a good rotation, very similar in the rotation aspect, but hanging back on that back foot, and I get a lot of baseball players coming to me with those issues, but a lot of people in general who just have weight transfer issues, okay? So again, feet close together, pause, step, finish. Love that drill. Yep, you got it, all right? 3 steps, feet close together, backswing, pause, step, pause, finish. Okay, you got it, okay? Vince will send that video to everybody in this class, okay? All right, so last one. This one, probably more on the difficult side, but I love it because here's the things I always look for in drills for specific people, and most of the time it's these 3 drills are the go-tos, okay? Is if it's very challenging for you, it's probably a good drill. You should get good at these drills. The goal is, if I give you that step drill, you should get good at hitting golf balls like that. Guess what? Your weight transfer is going to be money. Okay? So this next one's a little difficult, but it will teach you a lot of things. And this doesn't have to be a full swing. Okay? It's called the hockey drill. So we're going to hold the club with a split grip like this. Okay? Just like a hockey club or a hockey stick. Guys. No Canadians in this, right? Don't hurt me.
Right here.
Don't hurt me.
I'm listening.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I called it a hockey club for a second there. All right, just like a hockey stick, we're going to split the grip on here. All right, and you're going to work on making swings and having the ball go straight. You're like, oh, that's what I should do. Okay. When I split my grip like this, that makes it very easy for the right hand to overtake the left hand like this when the hands are separated, which is why when I teach grip, one of my main things is that the hands are touching in some form. Okay, so they're kind of more of a unit than working against each other. This forces them to almost work against each other. So what do you guys think in that sense do I have to do to make sure that doesn't happen? So if I split my hands on here, but I want to control that club and not let it do this, what do you think this drill makes me do?
Turn your body around.
Turn. You got to rotate, okay? So when I set up to this, my goal is to make sure chest and shoulders, hips, and core all come through together, okay? And our feedback would be the ball, all right? Our feedback would be the ball and maybe addressing some finish positions, okay? But if I get set up to this, short swing, all right, I'd like to see that get a little higher, but it did go straight. Let's do it again. Got to turn the body here. There you go. Okay? So, must turn the body. You saw when I did it like that with my hands spread apart on the grip, the club was able to stop right here, or somewhere in this vicinity, kind of right in front of my chest, right in front of my face. Not up there. Okay? So, turning the body helps us control club's momentum, club face angle, a lot of different things, okay? So favorite drills, let's go through them again. Takeaway drill, probably the most simple, maybe the most impactful for everybody here is that takeaway drill. You do it with any club, ball goes right behind the head, pushing it away, right? We'd like to see it kind of traveling, the ball travel straight back or somewhere in that vicinity. If I'm going in too much, we'll see that right away, okay? Second one is the step drill, okay? So feet close together starting, backswing pause, step pause, finish, okay? And then the hockey drill.
You know, I actually played with a couple that the wife did that drill when she was playing.
Yeah?
She just actually played the whole round.
Really?
Like
Yeah?
She did very well.
It's great. It could be really helpful. I think those first two are going to be the most impactful. Like I said, the hockey drill, it's a little advanced. I do like to share it with people when we kind of get into rotation and how I can control the club. Focus on those first two, see how they work for you. I will say this about the step drill. If you use it to hit a golf ball, remember that your stance is going to spread out, okay? So you don't want to start with your feet close together and the ball right here, because as you step, the ball is now going to be in the back of your stance, okay? So I always like to kind of start, this is where the ball is, right in front of my left foot. Then as I step, it ends up right in the middle where it should, okay?
You told me that.
Yes, I've given that here before, and that was one of the things I saw people doing. You know, then you end up in a position like, oh no, it's back, and then I'm going to do this anyway. So, questions, a lot of stuff, but I like those drills. They are definitely some of the best ones, kind of easiest ones. They don't require anything. Golf ball, a golf club, right?
That's the nice thing about it.
I love drills that don't use
Yes.
training aids. Those are some of my favorite to give people because nobody has, you know,
It's
a
a
thing
lot.
full of noodles. Well, maybe you guys do, okay? But you don't have 15 alignment sticks and all these contraptions that we have as golf coaches. So, you know, giving you guys stuff that you can just do with a club or by yourself or even without a golf ball, my favorite, okay? All right, so let's spread out. I'll stop by at each station. If you need golf balls here. Guys, about the mats here, the hitting area is actually the dark green strips there, okay? So you're standing on the lighter part, hitting off of the dark green strips. If you want to use a tee, you can see the tees go in there. They don't go all the way down, so just be conscious of that. You know, you'll have to use a shorter tee if you don't like the height there, okay? Cool, let's do it.
It's a red drill. All the balls.